Okay now, hey, I've been riding around, I've been vibing the sounds.
So I got the idea for doing a Sisterlock tag from a YouTuber. Her name's Stephanie, and her channel is called Let's Journey. And I've seen quite a bit of Sisterlock tags on YouTube, but this is actually the first one that I watched, that I stumbled upon. And so that was a while ago. It was more than a year ago, and I just kept forgetting to put it off. So shout out to her. And basically, yeah, I'm going to just jump right into it. So first question, and if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my phone, looking at the questions. So first of all, when were your Sisterlocks installed, and how long have you had them? So my Sisterlocks were installed July the 17th through the 19th, 2015. Basically, those 3 days, for the first two, it was 12 hours for each of those days, and then the third day, it was about 8 hours. So, yeah. And they were installed in here where I live at in North Carolina, actually in Fayetteville. A lady I found off of the Sisterlock website as a certified consultant. Yep. Why Sisterlocks and not another form of lock? So, just like many people, I did research locks in general a long time ago, but how I stumbled upon Sisterlocks was, I might have mentioned this story before, but when I was loose natural, I used to always, my go-to protective style, I don't care if it was winter or summer or whatever, I would do mini 2-strand twists. So maybe 3 times the size of my locks now. They were tiny considering. And I would do mini 2-strand twists all over my head. And I would do that all the time. I just loved the way it looked. Only downside was they're 2-strand twists. So after a while, they'll start to unravel naturally, and I would have to keep doing it, keep retwisting them and everything. And one day I did my smallest set yet. Like, I was like, I'm going to spend a lot of time on it. I want to perfect it. I want my parts to be small and neat. So I did that, and then I sent my best friend a picture of it. And then she was like, oh my gosh, those look like Sisterlocks. And I was like, what's a Sisterlock? So after that, I been like, as soon as I went and Googled the images of it, I was like, this is what I've been looking for all my life. So I Googled a lot of images, got a lot of hair crushes. Then I did a lot of research on the actual process and finding a certified person to install them. And then, so from that moment on, when she told me they look like Sisterlocks, about 2.5 years later, boom, I had them installed. And so now that's been almost 5 years ago since I first learned about them. So the reason why I chose Sisterlocks was because, considering what I was already trying to do to my hair when it was loose natural, it was like the perfect fit. It did what I wanted to be. It was small, they were neat, they were versatile because they were so small. And it's like a permanent protective style. I mean, okay, so it said, how long did it take you to schedule your installation? So, like I said, it took me from the time I started getting interested in them until the actual day, well, even the actual time of my first, what do you call it? I can't think of the word. But when you first go to see them and they install like the starter locks and everything like that, the consultation. So from the time I started researching them to my consultation, it was about 2.5 years. And I really wanted to make sure it was something I could do, weigh out the costs, pros, cons, all that. So, what fears did you have before getting your Sisterlocks? So, I didn't have much fear before I went in to get them because I did so much research on it, and I in my mind, made in my mind, that's what I wanted. I actually didn't have any fears. It was something that I had been naturally building up to and didn't even know it. It's because I kept my hair in those 2-strand twist protective styles majority of the time I was loose natural. So, name one thing you wish you knew before starting your Sisterlocks. said I did so much research. I'm trying to think of anything that caught me by surprise. Oh, I do know. So, as I talk about all the time, I wish I knew how devastating postpartum shedding can be to Sisterlocks, because most likely around the perimeter, those are like the smallest locks in your head. And so postpartum shedding happens to any woman who has a baby. I don't care if you're loose natural, locked, relaxed, whatever, it doesn't matter. Usually women will experience some form of postpartum shedding, and some is worse than others. And I didn't even take that into consideration, because I was like, they're going to be locked, they'll be, stronger as stranded together. But the thing was, when I got them installed, that perimeter, they were so tiny. They were beautiful, but they were tiny, like sketchy tiny. Like, I was scared. And I had a right to be, because once I had a baby, they fell out. And my whole beautiful, like, perfect looking hairline was gone. And even though my hair has grown back, it's still not the same as that original hairline. It's nowhere near it. But I'm happy for it, because my hair grew back. But that's one thing I wish I would have known. Of course, there's like no information out there about that. I mean, first of all, the Sisterlock community, as far as like massive amounts of information, mass amounts of channels and different topics on it, there's not that much actually in the grand scheme of things. And so I think after I experienced the shedding, I might have found like one video on YouTube where somebody mentioned, hey, this happened to me after I had a baby and I didn't realize it. And like, so that's one thing I wish I would have known. Okay, it says, have you noticed any major changes in your life or the people around you as a result of Sisterlocks? Yes. So I thought I was just going to be, my little unique self, because in my immediate family, in my larger family, and my group of friends, and just people in general around me, nobody has Sisterlocks. I'm pretty sure, besides my best friend who told me about them, nobody else even knew what Sisterlocks were. Of course, people know what dreadlocks are and stuff like that, but no one knew what Sisterlocks were. And so here I come, popping up, and then, they were kind of the usual, like, those are so small, are you afraid they're going to break, or, do you take them out, or do you plan on combing them out after a while, and all these other, questions, which are normal, and I didn't get frustrated about it, I would answer them. But now, 2.5 years in, it's a whole nother story. First of all, let me say that I converted my mother into getting Sisterlocks. She has them now, and she's been Locs for a year now, and they're doing great. But let me tell you, she was hyped for me to get them. She's like, yeah, they look nice on you, sister. But she was like avid, like, I'm never getting those. One, because she likes to change her hairstyles frequently. One, I can't change my hairstyles. I don't want it to be permanent. I can't sit that long to get them installed. I don't want to do this, and this. And I'm telling you, within a 2-year span, and that's not me asking her to get them at all. I wasn't like, hey, you should get them. Hey, they're this. Hey, they're this, or whatever. I left her alone. And I just went on about my merry way. My hair was growing. It was looking nice. It got thicker. It got longer. And by herself, she was like, man, like, she just took notice, I guess, silently. And all of a sudden, like, one day it switched. And she was like, well, I'm thinking about getting them. I hope you're not, like, upset. I'm not trying to copy you or anything, but I actually think it'd be a good fit for me. And I was like, that's perfectly fine. If you're ready to do it, do it. And she did. She committed, and seriously, she doesn't even want to turn back. She's so surprised, because my mom was one of those people who grew up in an era where, like, our hair was considered just unfavorable. It was nappy. It was ugly. It was unmanageable. It wasn't desirable. And so, even when I first went loose natural, she was like devastated, because she didn't like the whole natural look, the afro look, none of that. And so, for her to get this far, and literally, because at the beginning when she first got her Sisterlocks done, she would wear her wig, because she just didn't like the natural hair. But now, you wouldn't see her put a wig on, nothing. I don't care. She walks outside with her natural hair. She styles it by herself, which is that's like a milestone in itself. And she embraces it and she loves it. And so I think that's the most positive change that has happened since I've gotten my hair done. And then on top of that, on a smaller note, it's inspired other people in my family to kind of consider it. It'll probably be a while for some of them, not just for the maintenance, but like for just overall costs and stuff like that. And then people, so it could take them a while. And another thing that I did notice, because I'm getting long-winded, is that I swear to you, I've lived where I live now majority of my life. I've traveled different places. I've seen a whole lot of people, a whole lot of hairstyles. I have never noticed Sisterlocks. If I've seen them, I didn't know what they were. That's how crazy. Now, what? I spot so many people around just my city alone with Sisterlocks. Like, it's like all of a sudden you get your hair done and then it's just like a home and beaker. You're just like, boop, 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 boop. And then you just find them. I don't know how. And then they find me and then it's just like, oh, hey, I like your hair. Oh, hey, I like it. It's just weird. But it's cool, but it's weird. Like, some of these people that I run into that lived here their whole lives, they say, yeah, I've had my hair for 10 years. And I'm just like, I've probably seen you before, but I didn't know what your hair was. Because most people think they're like little baby braids or twists or, I don't know. People don't automatically assume they're locks, so that's pretty cool. Okay, it says, how many locks do you have? So, I started out after installation day with about 550 to 60 locks. After the whole shedding thing and losing a lot of locks and stuff like that, breakage, I recently did count them, including the ones that have finally grown back, and I'm back down to about 530 now. So, what pattern do you or your loctician use on your hair? So, my loctician started my hair with the 4-point rotation, and I'm still using the 4-point rotation now. I like the way my locks turn out with that one. What products do you use in your hair? Oh, I never thought my list would be so short with the natural hair, but literally use 2 things, with a tiny exception, like sparsely throughout the year, the third. 1, water. No special water, no like rose water or infused water, just straight up water. And 2, shampoo. I do like I've tried different shampoos. Of course, I tried the Sisterlock shampoo. I've tried a couple. I do have one favorite that I cannot think in my head right now, but I will take a picture of it and I will insert it either somewhere in here or at the end of the video of what it is. And I love it because you can buy it big. It's not that expensive. It comes with a pump, which makes shampooing your hair in the shower like easy, and it smells great. I know it's like biotin and collagen in it, but I can't remember the brand, so I will take a picture. And as far as like sparingly, coconut oil. Coconut oil is just my go-to oil anyways. It's super light and in the winter time, and this is definitely not every day, every week, every month. It's just anytime I just feel like I just need something, especially now that my hair is majority locked, I'll either like after I take a shower, I'll usually like just rub some of my hands and rub it on my ends. And if I feel like my scalp is a little dry, I may just run a little bit on my scalp, not too much. Just keep it really light, and I definitely don't do that on a regular basis. But that's it.
Ride and kill everything. It's not me and you. It's not me, it's you. You're reckless and you know it. They don't love you like I do. Say you're moving on. Well, I guess that's just emotion. Say it's not me and you. It's not me, it's you. You're reckless and you know it.